All right, all right, all right. We got the piano player and the snapper in the background. We are here. It's Toilets Entitled, episode 83. The gang is all here for the last episode of the offseason. How incredible is it to say that, man? Like, we're here. Tuesday night,
Football.
2 nights from now, we're going to be recording our first in-season episode of the year. And it's a beautiful thing. And I'm looking at some beautiful faces this evening. So I got to start introducing some guys. First and foremost, to my left, if you're watching, to my right, actually, is Justin Stevens at JustinFF_Justin. How we doing this evening?
Hey, I'm on cloud nine, guys. But my son won conference in tennis last night, so pretty excited about that. So I'm on cloud nine, and then shooting this show with you guys. It's feeling pretty good.
Excellent. I know so the cloud section must be over there because I know Rich is on cloud nine as well because his son suited up for varsity as a freshman. So with me as well as Rich Gonzalez at R Gonzalez RM. Rich, how we feel?
I am doing great. Freaking been watching football with the kids going to their games. My son had his first game on this Monday where he played JV. Had an awesome game, had a sack, had a tackle 5-yard loss, and then got to go watch him again on the varsity shooting up for Friday. Didn't get to go in the game and everything because it was a real good high school game, man. But man, he's gonna get that opportunity, man. Just suiting up with them. I mean, I could see him smiling from ear to ear last night, walking the sidelines, and that was freaking awesome.
Awesome, man. I'm happy for you. That's a beautiful thing, man. All you gotta do is suit up, show up. Opportunity will present itself, and just be ready for that opportunity. All right, with me on the other side, the main man Joe knows at JoJ_Clark. Joe, how we doing this evening?
Doing great, guys. I too am so ready to get the season started. Very relaxed and rested. We came back from Mexico earlier this week, my family and I, and had an absolutely wonderful time. Nice, relaxing vacation. But I am ready for football, big time.
Man, it's like we're all very civil right now, and within a few weeks, that civilness is going to be out the window because we all are fans of different teams. So right now, like we got no dog in the fight. But while Joe's a Giants fan, I'm a Cowboys fan. We got Raiders, Colts, then we got a Packers fan below. That's Alex. All right, Alex is I can't even see your handle. It's Alex OFF, correct? That's the Twitter. Alex O_FF. All right, I had it wrong. Alex, how we doing?
Doing great. Ready for some football, man. I have been waiting for the season to start ever since it ended, so I could watch it all year round if it was on.
Yeah.
But ready to go.
Man, I talked about it being civil and that leaving, being out the window when the season starts, but it's probably going to be out the window tonight because tonight is the bathroom board episode. I don't know if you're familiar with the bathroom board. If you watched us last year or if you've been watching us this year, you should have somewhat of an idea. And if you don't have an idea, you've probably been saying to yourself, what the hell is that bathroom board they are talking about every time they say put it on the board? So what the bathroom board is, it's a running list of bets we've all made with each other regarding fantasy football, NFL, college, whatever. I like a guy, you like somebody higher. I think my guy's going to finish higher than your guys on PPR. It's pretty simple. I think it's going to explain itself as it goes. But the way this runs, Justin won it last year. Justin had the most wins. All right, we're going on year 2. All right, he's trying to retain the crown. We have a long list of bets on here, and some of the guys who have made the bets, it's 95% people that are at Toilets to Titles. And then we have some of the people who've hopped on the show as guests who've got on the board as well. So we'll discuss their bets, but we're going to run through the bets. We're going to run through our opinions on those bets. And then when the season's over, we're going to recap these bets and we're going to let everybody know who is the champion. So before we get all into that, and I see Amy Stevens is in here. All right.
Hi, Mom.
That is great. That is great. We got a mother in here. That's phenomenal. Team Mom, she brought the oranges. All right, so at halftime, we're going to shut this thing down for a few minutes. We're going to regroup. All right. So we got the oranges now.
Does this mean I have to watch my mouth?
Yes.
Damn it.
Lori's in the other room. You should be watching your mouth anyway.
They don't know your mom.
Yeah. All right. Hey, so how you can be listening to the show? We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube. We're on Podbean. We have 2 Facebook groups, the Toilets to Titles group and When a Family Breaks. And we are on Spotify. Regardless how you were listening to us, it would be greatly appreciated if you went to our YouTube channel, which is in our show notes if you're on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or if you're following us on Twitter at Toilets to Titles, you will be able to find our YouTube channel, or you can just look up Toilets to Titles on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. You'll be alerted anytime we go live, and you could just come in and chat with us, because when we go live, people come in the chats, and during the season, that's your time to throw us those questions, man. All right, let us know what you're thinking, and we can answer it on the spot. Check out toiletstotitles.com, and also please check out our Patreon, patreon.com/toiletstotitles. Tier 1, $3 a month. It gets you into our group chat on Discord. I say this every week, 24/7. We are available for you. If you get into that for $3, at all times, you could post any fantasy football related question, NFL related question, whatever. Throw it in there. We will respond to it. All right. And we will let you know what we think. And that's going to help you out. That's $3 per month. All right. $5 a month gets you tier 2. It gets you access to Justin's waiver wire episodes that he's going to be releasing Monday night, immediately after Monday Night Football. And on this waiver wire episode is going to be his opinions, as well as everybody from Toilets to Titles is going to be throwing on a doc guys that they believe you should pick up, and Justin's going to put that all out there for you. So all of that coming from us, $5 a month gets you that episode, gets you that group chat, and then it gets you into Frankenstein next year, which Frankenstein is phenomenal. Tier 3, $10 a month. This gets you one-on-one roster analysis from anybody on the team, gets you free entry into Frankenstein next year, get you those waiver wire episodes, and get you into the group chat. So before we move on to the bathroom board stuff, all of us are kind of going to be swimming in different directions. We're going to be coming together. We're working together, and it's been a beautiful thing working with all of you this offseason and building this team. But we each kind of have our own little project, and we're going to be breaking off, running our thing. And I'm very excited about it. So I want to give everybody a chance to kind of talk about all their projects. So again, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And a reason to subscribe to our YouTube channel, in season, we have 8 shows that are going to be coming at you live in season, all right? And Joe, you have 2 of these shows. Wednesday nights, you got the recaps that you're going to be doing. Sunday morning, you're going to be doing Joe Knows, where you're going to be, a Cup of Joe, rather, where you're going to be talking about, the Sunday's game. So why don't you tell us about the Wednesday night, the Sunday morning show, what times you're going to be going live, and what you're going to be discussing on those shows.
Okay. So yeah, no, thanks for the opportunity to explain one of my projects here. And so Sunday morning at 8:00, 8 a.m. Eastern, that is, it'll be Cup of Joe. Cup of Joe, I'm going to be reviewing college games from Saturday and the few days before that as well. So I'll be reviewing college games, probably not all college games, but I'm definitely going to get to the big ones, especially the big matchups, as well as the key individual results, like the stats put up by some of the players, the players like the stats that really stand out. And we'll get into that. And then and I'm also going to review the upcoming games as well for Sunday and Monday. And then Wednesday is going to be the review preview. That's where we're going to be. I'm going to be reviewing the results from the previous week's games and doing a preview on the upcoming games as well. So I think, as of right now, because it's still kind of developing, going to find my way as I go forward. I have a feeling Sunday morning is going to wind up being mostly college, actually, for right now. And because after I'm on, Alex will be talking about the show that he's doing with Dirty Jobs, Mike. And, they're going to be talking about, I'm sure, some of the things everyone's going to be covering, like the upcoming games anyway, so I don't know. I'll probably touch on them briefly. I'm not sure. But so maybe Sunday will be mostly Cup of Joe. Maybe that'll be mostly college football. And then the Wednesday night review preview, maybe I'll delve more into the I'll keep that more for the upcoming games.
All right, so Alex, that was a little bit of a teaser of what you're going to be doing with Dirty Jobs Mike. Sundays, I believe it's at 10 a.m., the Blitz, where you guys are going to be doing a live call-in show. So tell us a little bit about what you guys got going this season.
Yeah, so me and Mike are going to be there Sunday mornings. We're going to be there to help answer your questions, and we're going to help you with start-sit decisions. I'm going to probably do we'll do some weather and stuff, just to, any inclement weather, stuff that's really going to affect games. But a lot of it's going to be listener involvement, and we want everyone there. So please tune in, check us out. I will also be doing a start sit article that'll feature some of my favorite guys or teams. Like for the week 1, start up your Pittsburgh Steelers, because they're going to be playing the Bills and scoring lots of points. So get them out there. And especially while Ben's arm is still, as healthy as it's going to be. So yeah, I'm excited for the Blitz. It should be a lot of fun. but we need your help. So give us your questions. And even if you can't be there, or if you don't want to ask on air, definitely hit me up, hit my DMs, and I'll answer the questions on. You slide on in there, and I'll answer them on air for you too. More the merrier. So.
Look at him letting his hair down when he's trying to convince people to slide into his DMs. I like that, man. I like that a lot. You normally have your hair up, but today you're getting a little risque. You're trying to get some people to slide into those DMs. I dig it. Rich, you've got dollars to deuces going Wednesdays as well, right after Joe knows. So Joe's like the setup man. He's our number 3 hitter, man. He comes in, sets up, goes on live before dollars to deuces. Sunday mornings he goes live before the blitz. How do you like that role, Joe? You go with that?
I'm the opening act. I love it. Yeah. I always like not being the center of attention anyway. I do my best when I'm kind of like in the shadows. I add things, that's from the sidelines. That's more my thing. But I think I'm a perfect warm-up act.
I love it. So Rich, dollars to deuces. What can the listeners expect from that this season?
Man, so me and my man Nate, we're gonna jump on. We're gonna try to give everybody some of that knowledge to win some money and everything by going over who's going to win on the weekend. We're going to throw out our predictions. We're going to jump into prop bets and everything for the week. I mean, just a little bit of everything and stuff. And maybe we'll even throw in a few college games in there and do a little parlays. So, we're excited, man. I mean, to be honest with you, we're going to lead into that next day where it jumps into your show, though.
That's it. A dash of DFS. That's the Thursday night episodes that I'm going to be doing with Dirty Jobs, our friend Joe Arachi from 2 Tickets to Fantasy, where we're going to be doing a 30-minute episode starting at 7:50, ending at 8:20, right at kickoff. We're ending right at kickoff. We're going to let you know who to play in your DFS lineups this week to try to help you win some money. So Rich is going to be winning you money Wednesday. I'm going to be winning you money on Thursday with my guys. But Justin, he's going to be doing the regular title show with me, but then he's going to be doing this waiver wire episode where we're trying to help you win money. He's trying to help you win the big money. He's doing the long game, picking up those waivers. So, Justin, tell him about the waiver wire episodes.
Yeah, so the biggest thing that I'm excited about the waiver wire episode is it's not going to be just my information. All of the guys on the team, right? All of the guys on the team are going to be putting in those. Okay, cool. Are going to be putting in those waiver those waiver wires on the dock. I'm just going to be delivering it to you on Monday nights. I'm going to deliver it to you Monday night immediately following the Monday night football game, unless it looks like a blowout and we pretty much know what we're getting ourselves into. I might go ahead and do it a little early so I can get up for those kiddos on Tuesday morning. But again, just like John said at the top of the show, I'm going to be emailing that to our Patreons. So all of our patrons that are helping us out on Patreon will get the episode first and foremost. We might drop a few occasionally during the season, but for the most part, it's going to our Patreon. So patreon.com/toilets and titles.
/toilets and titles. All right, enough being nice to you fools. Bathroom board time. All right, let's get this thing rolling. So the first bathroom board bet of the offseason. It's a good one. This was before the Lamb buzz. CeeDee Lamb versus Justin Jefferson. Me and Matt from Down Under Dynasty are on the CeeDee Lamb side. Justin and Joe in here right now. The two of you are representing the Justin Jefferson side. This is PPR, and this is who's going to score the most points this season. So I think this is a juicy one. I don't think this is like an obvious winner. I think it could go any way, but I do clearly think CeeDee's the guy. I think he's going to do it. I'm feeling good about it.
I feel the opposite. I feel very strongly about Jefferson, assuming that he's healthy. I feel, I think the thing and I like CeeDee a lot. I've always been very high on him, and I expect him he had a really good rookie year, and I expect him to even take that, big jump. I think the thing, though, is that as opposed to Jefferson, don't get me wrong, Jefferson has another top quality receiver who's going to, take receptions away from him in Thielen. But I think Amari Cooper is more of a threat to take receptions away from CeeDee than Thielen is away from Justin Jefferson. So don't get me wrong, you take either of those wide receivers, I think you're going to do very, very well. They're going to be both number one elite wide receivers. And I think CeeDee does take over for Amari Cooper this year. But I still got to ride with Justin Jefferson. I definitely feel strongly about that. And that's no knock against CeeDee.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think they're both going to be incredible, but you got Justin Herbert, you got Justin Jefferson, you got Justin Stevens. You can't go wrong with the Justin. So
I was wondering where you were going with that.
So any opportunity I get to root on Justin Jefferson, I have a feeling he's going to be one of my favorite wide receivers in the league. He already kind of is. So if I'm gonna split hairs and take sides here, I'm gonna take Jefferson just because I'm already going to enjoy seeing him play on Sundays.
All right, I dig it. I think CD would have outperformed Jefferson. I think he was on the way to do it last year with Dak healthy. So I think we've already seen CD play better, and I think we're going to see it again this season. All right, the next one. This is a good one here. Nick Chubb versus Derrick Henry. PPR again, regular season fantasy. I'm on the Nick Chubb side alone here. And Justin, Joe, and Matt are on the Derrick Henry side. So let me hear you guys. I mean, Henry's done it. So I guess you can expect him to do it again. So I'm assuming that's going to be your argument. My argument is I don't think we've seen the best from Nick Chubb. I think we saw Nick Chubb come out healthy last year after a few games, and he looked phenomenal, even with Kareem Hunt there. And I think that offense is going to run through their running backs. I said, Shep Stradamus said, that guy, Shep Stradamus, he said that Nick Chubb or Jonathan Taylor, one of those two are going to lead the league in rushing yards this year. And it could very well be Nick Chubb. And I think that Tennessee Titans offense is going to go a little more pass heavy this year. So it's going to take away some touches from Henry. We will see. But Joe, you look ready to discuss this. So go ahead.
That's a great point about, since they acquired Julio, Tennessee, that is, that maybe that, that's definitely factoring to my thinking now. I mean, when I had taken Henry at the time, I don't think they had Julio. I still have to go with Henry just because I think Chubb is phenomenal. I absolutely love that guy. But he does have Kareem Hunt. And I agree with you, John. I think, Cleveland, their path to success is through that running game. And, they have some good wide receivers. Obviously, OBJ, if he's healthy, can be phenomenal. But, man, it's like, that running game, like, I'd be feeding those guys the ball until a defense can stop them. I would just feed them the ball all the time. But I got to go with Henry, just because, they'll be passing the ball more now they have Julio Jones. But I still think he's going to get his work in. I still have to go with Derrick Henry.
Justin, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, it's right down there at the bottom. Boom.
Boom. Easy.
That's Henry, baby. He's going to bring the boom.
All right, I like it. This next one, I'm just going to skip over this one. Me and Matt, we got into the college discussion about Spencer Rattler. I said Spencer Rattler will never finish top 12 in fantasy as a quarterback.
We'll find out in about 2035.
Yeah, I don't think he ever will, but this is a long time coming, so this one ain't going to play out this year. All right, the next one, I wish Ben was here, but at least Joe's here to discuss it. Ben, Joe, and Matt think Tua won't get benched. Well, so more clearly, rather, Nate hates Tua, all right, and Nate thinks that Tua will get benched this year. All right, he thinks he's going to get benched. And the bet is that Tua won't get benched. That's what Joe, Matt, and Ben are saying. So, Joe, tell us why Tua won't get benched. And I'm sure Nate's watching at home. Nate can write a little blurb, and we can read it. But Nate hates Tua. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, I'm not sure. Listen, it's obvious that the decision on Tua is still, the jury's out on Tua, I should say. So he hasn't proven anything. He also hasn't disproven anything either. So I don't see why they would not give him a full year to see what hey, Nate might be right, but that doesn't mean they don't stick with him either. I mean, if he totally tanks like the first 4 games, maybe they would, maybe they'd move on from him, but I doubt it. I just don't see it happening. They took him very high a few years ago. And what would be the backup plan? What's the point? He's a young guy. Keep him in there. They're a good team. I love what Miami's doing, and I think all of us do too. We see they're building a potential behemoth down there in Miami. I love what they're doing. They're putting the sexy back in there, and I'm dying to see that. But you've drafted this guy who was highly touted for quite a few years. We were all anticipating him coming into the league. You drafted him I think the 5th pick overall a few years ago. Give him the opportunity, right, Alex? Give him the opportunity. See what you got. It wouldn't make any sense. It's not like he's a rookie either this year. He's been around a little bit, so he hasn't played all that much, but he's played, and he's also seen the game from the sidelines. He's been in the locker room. He's talked to the coaches, and you have to let this guy just play, and he's got a good amount of talent too.
So if Tua gets traded to Houston and Deshaun Watson gets in Miami, is that considered a bench?
Yes, we'll call that because that's just as good as benching him. They traded him.
Exactly.
And
the only
and
thing
they traded
that's
him
the
to
only
Houston.
way that this is going to happen. That Nate wins this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daniel Jones has been sucking it up for 3-4 years now, however long he's been in and they haven't benched him yet. So why Tua's done way better than some of the guys that have gotten plenty of time on their rookie deals to figure it out and really see what they have. So I don't see Tua getting benched this year. I'm also
struck a chord, Alex. That one's we got a Giant fan in the house.
Hey, it's true though. They're the ones
listen,
that have been
I'm not.
Daniel
My
Jones
feelings aren't hurt. It's all he's got to prove it.
Man,
Yeah,
that interception he threw in preseason in the red zone was tough to watch.
Yes, it was. Yep.
All right, well, Tua, I feel like Jesus is on Tua's side because Jesus is mad at Nate because Nate hates Tim Tebow. So if we could do like the 6 degrees of separation, like Jesus is rooting for Tua because Nate is rooting against Tua, and because Nate rooted against Tebow, so therefore Jesus hates Nate. So there's a 6 degrees of separation. So sorry, Nate, you're gonna lose this one, pal. All right, next one. We got some IDP love in here. All right, this is me versus Nate as well. Nate, you got to get in the chat, man. We got to get you in here. We got to talk about these bets. I got Jamin Davis, linebacker out of Kentucky. I'm loving him. Jesus hates Nate. There you have it. No, he doesn't. Jesus loves Nate. You know why he loves Nate? Because Nate's a good man. All right, he's a good man. He does right by his wife and his child. And Nate's a good guy. So Jesus loves Nate. I was just joking. Tim Tebow might hate him though. But I got Jamin Davis, linebacker out of Kentucky, who's out there in Washington, sideline to sideline guy. And Nate's got Zavin Collins, both good dudes, solid defensive players. But I just think Jamin Davis is a little more. I think he's going to have more tackles. So this is IDP. This is going to be IDP points. We'll probably use a point structure in one of the IDP leagues. Me and Nate playing, too legit or fictional. And Nate said he's almost done with his sod. Nate ruined his grass the other night, and that was his punishment. So the punishment's over. 2 things off the board. All right. But anyway, I think Jamin Davis is going to have more tackles, score more IDP points than Zavin Collins. I think Zavin Collins is going to be a stud, but I just think Jamin Davis is all over the football field. And with that defensive line is going to keep linemen from getting to the second level and from getting to Jamin Davis and therefore slowing him down. So if he's able to run free reign, he's going to be shooting gaps, getting to the outside, making tackles all over the field. So as long as he stays healthy, I think that's the case. Does anybody have any argument for Zavin Collins because Nate isn't in here?
Yeah, I think Zavin Collins. I agree with you, John. I think Jamin Davis is just in a better position with the defense that he's already on. But I think Zavin Collins. I think he's got a chance to stand out more too.
Yeah.
So I think that could be an argument in his favor there. And I love both cornerbacks, but I especially love Zavin Collins. I think he's going to be
here's a thought that could help Zavin Collins. Arizona's going to score faster, right? So I think it's possible, or rather likely, that Arizona's defense sees more snaps than the Washington football team defense sees. So by seeing more, that's a real thing. Snaps are snaps.
Yeah.
So I think they could be on the field, 10 to 15 more snaps a game over 17 games. It's 160 snaps. He's got 20 tackles right there, 30 tackles right there. So it does, I think that could be something. Steve Evans says, Rich, that camera angle makes you look taller. Uncle Steve's seen you in person. So, Uncle Steve wants to slide into your DMs right now, Rich, because he's seen something. All right, this next one I had the combination of Willie Gay and Nick Bolton, the linebackers in Kansas City. I picked them. We did an IDP only draft in like June or July, and it was actually awesome. It was rookies only. Got a lot of views with Kyle, our friend Kyle Bellafuel, and Jared Gray. And they took the combination of Isaiah Simmons and Zavin Collins. And I took the combination of Willie Gay and Nick Bolton. Who's going to have, more points altogether? And I like the possibility that that Kansas City defense does. But Willie Gay's in the IR right now. So that really hurts my chances here. It's looking like Isaiah Simmons and Collins are going to win that one. We'll see. All right. So this next one here, me and Steve Spack, we say one of either Nick Chubb or Jonathan Taylor will outscore Christian McCaffrey in PPR. And Rich says that ain't happening. So, Rich, tell us, man.
You guys are smoking the pipe, man. I'm serious.
Family show, Rich.
McCaffrey has no one to compete with. No competition. I mean, Chubb has competition. Jonathan Taylor, as much as you hate to say it, he has a little competition and everything. McCaffrey, look, this is all assumes if everybody makes it through the season healthy. McCaffrey had one offseason last year of injury and stuff like that. Until he does it another season of injury and it starts seeing back to back, look, McCaffrey is the man. McCaffrey will finish above both of these guys. He has a thing to prove. I mean, look, he has Darnold there now. And on top of that, he's going to drop it off to him. They got all this receiving power now there that's going to draw that coverage away from him. Man, it's just like setting up for just a beautiful season. If you didn't draft him number 1 overall this year, you're going to be paying for it.
I like these two young running backs, man. I like Chubb. You've seen it in my bets. I like Jonathan Taylor. You've seen it in my bets. Both of those guys, Shep Stradamus, those are the two guys that Shep Stradamus predicts. One of those two is going to lead the league in rushing. They're both alphas, and they're about to break out. The NFL is going to know their names after this season. We'll see. This is one where I understand where you're coming from, and it's probably leaning more towards your favor. But I'm excited to watch this play out because this means that we get to watch some very talented running backs play football. And I'm very excited about that.
Don't get me wrong, man. I love Taylor, too. I love Chubb, too. But I also like Snickers. So
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm lost. I am lost.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you love them. What's actually going to happen? And I agree with Rich that I'd have to go with CMC until proven otherwise.
This next one's a juicy one. All right, Uncle Steve's with you too, Rich. You're tall. You're speaking right. You're whispering right into his ear at that height, man.
Wish it was a little bit taller. I wish it was a baller.
That's it. We need a drop. We need to make that a drop. That's a rich drop right there. All right, this next one, Justin Herbert. I picked Justin Herbert. Joe, Mike, and Alex, you guys picked Ryan Tannehill. You guys think Tannehill is going to outscore Herbert this year. So plead your case for Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, Ryan. He's especially now that he's got Julio Jones. But even with AJ Brown, I think he may still have outscored Herbert. Herbert just had an outlier season, a very outlier season. The things he did really well in are very volatile stats, touchdowns, and completion percentage under pressure, and like how he did under pressure. And we don't know if they did a bunch to that O-line in Los Angeles, but it doesn't always necessarily mean that it's better. So I just think Tannehill has the higher ceiling with, especially now with Julio and AJ Brown out there on the outsides. He's just going to tear off play action pass, just boom, boom, boom. And that's why I'm not big on Derrick Henry either this year.
Joe, Ryan Tannehill, you picked him.
Yeah, I did. Now I'm just wondering,
sounds like a reboot.
You know what? Yeah, I'll stick with
You got time to switch, man. You can switch. You can come over to the dark side.
Because listen, I think Herbert is a phenomenal talent.
Joe, and whispering to you, Boba Fett is saying, "Come over to the dark side." All right,
I've got that Boba Fett in original.
Yeah, come over to the dark side. Take Justin Herbert.
I love Herbert. I'll stick to my guns. I'll stick with Tannehill. I mean, he does have Julio, and I don't think obviously Julio is not Julio from the prime of his career, but he definitely brings something. Man, Herbert's got great weapons too.
Herbert's the real deal. I'm buying.
I agree with you 100%. He's going to be top 3 quarterback behind Mahomes and maybe someone else, but this guy's going to have a phenomenal long
behind
career.
Mahomes and Carr.
And Dimes.
behind Carr and Mahomes.
Oh, Rich couldn't just leave it there. He had to one-up it.
I'll stick with Tannehill.
I'm excited to watch Justin Herbert. I think ADP is showing he's going. I'm not in the minority here. I think you guys are, and that's cool. I like that you're out on a limb there. But Herbert is expected to outperform Tannehill, and I think he's going to. Mike Williams is in a contract year, so if he's ever going to do anything, it's going to be this year. Keenan Allen's an animal. He's an absolute stud. Austin Eckler's back, and he's a dump-off guy, so those are going to be some cheap touchdowns for the quarterback. And I also like Josh Palmer. I'm interested to see what he can do over there. So, he doesn't have A.J. Brown. He's got Keenan Allen, so that negates A.J. Brown, but he doesn't have the Julio Jones on the other side. Okay, so I think Tannehill has better weapons, but I also think maybe the Chargers have more depth, So, but we'll see. This is a good one. Rich, go ahead.
He has 2 weapons. That's all he has and stuff like that.
Yeah, but then he's also got defenses have to worry about Derrick Henry, and they can't. They got to stack the box.
But you guys got to think about it with Herbert. Man, don't forget about that guy Guyton. That guy showed up last year just on
Jalen Guyton.
No, not Guyton. I'm in awe here. No, not with you, Rich. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, he got tons of weapons and everything, and I just think that the factor that's going to even make it even stand out even more, and you hit it, Coach, is Eckler. If he stays healthy, he's going to take Herbert to another level that we didn't even see last year.
Right, and Guyton, I believe, went to North Texas. I believe. I could be wrong. Where Jalen Darden went out of. So think about the speed between those two guys. I think North Texas had a Heisman candidate quarterback a year or two ago. So it's probably because he had 2 dudes who run like 4.3 40s on the outside, and he could just throw the ball up to them. But I could be wrong. So I'll check that one in a little bit. All right, this next year.
I'm sorry. I've got to throw it out there. Like, one of these teams are going to throw the ball 50 times a game. The other team has Derrick Henry. And stack the box. That's what they've been doing his entire career, and he's still leading the league in rushing. Like, it's Derrick freaking Henry. You're not going to throw out an aging, injury-prone wide receiver and then expect that they're going to totally change their offense. Their passing game is going to be more efficient. Sure, yeah, but come on now. You don't just stop giving the rock to Derrick Henry.
I'm on the Herbert side, but I'm saying defenses are going to be stacked the box. That's going to help Tannehill. I'm not saying it's going to hurt Henry. I'm saying it's going to help Tannehill have an easier time throwing the ball.
Easy. That would have to help him out a lot. He's only throwing the ball, 25 times a game at most?
But if he keeps his efficiency, that's all he needs to throw it for.
Yeah.
He was already a top. He was the number 4 wide receiver after he came in for Mariota 2 years ago, and he was 8th overall this past season. And now he has and now he has an even better weapon. It's not Corey Davis anymore. It's Julio freaking Jones
and Anthony Fursker. But
I wish I would have got in on this.
Talking about this offensive line, Corey Linsley, Brian Bulaga, and they did draft Rashawn Slater. I forgot about that. So that Chargers offensive line is actually going to be very solid.
Brian Bulaga is bad nowadays, and Lindsey is good, but that's one piece
Slater's
on.
Slater's
no. Linsley's he'll be like a Hall of Fame center if he stays healthy.
Slater's no joke either.
But we haven't seen him yet either. It's he's still a rookie.
Against Chase Young, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. We'll see. We will see, but I'm sold. I'm sold on him. Let's move on. This next one I guess we're crossing this off the list because of an injury, but I took Laviska Shenault. All right, and Matt took Travis Etienne. I was saying that Laviska Shenault was going to outscore Travis Etienne season total points PPR, and I think this one could have been a close one, but I was super confident in Laviska Shenault, so much so that I took this next bet as well. But I don't think I was the one going out on a limb. Alex, you were the one going out on a limb here, but you believe in it and you're backing it. I took Laviska Shenault. Alex takes Marvin Jones, season total points PPR. So Alex, talk about your man Marvin Jones.
Well, he's the wide receiver 1 in Jacksonville. Shark isn't that good. He did well 2 years ago. He did all right. But I don't think he's a top talent. And Marvin Jones is he's a solid wide receiver, but I think he's going to get the downfield looks. He loves touchdowns. He loves scoring touchdowns, which is which is one of the things that I took into account here. I just don't know. I'm just afraid with Chenault that what if he's just a gadget guy? But what if he is? Because that's all that's all they've shown us so far. So I don't know. I think Marvin Jones is still going to have more PPR points by the end of the season than Chenault. But that was me.
I mean, people who listen to this show have heard me. I think I've beaten the Laviska Shenault thing to death. Like I like him. I like him a lot. I think he's a true X. I think he's an alpha. He can get vertical. He can take short routes. He can do the intermediate stuff, yards after catch. So I understand why you would say, it's possible he's just a gadget guy because he can do the gadget guy stuff. But I think he's more than that. I think he's a good route runner. I think he's got good hands. And I definitely think they have different – I think they can have differing roles. I'm not worried about DJ Chark. Chark is a vertical guy. He'll be good for Trevor Lawrence. He'll be a good 3. But, I think, it could be like Chenault is the Cup and Marvin Jones is the Robert Woods. It could be something like that if they pass that much.
I'm okay with that. That'll be a close battle then, at least.
That's how it's looked in preseason.
Yeah,
they both have seen the targets, man, and it's just I just feel like Viska after the catch adds a little bit more. But all right, this next one, ADP 2022 season. So this is one that is going to have to wait a little bit as well. And Matt is saying that Tua is going to have a higher ADP than Zach Wilson. Ben is saying Zach Wilson's going to have a higher ADP than Tua going into 2022. I believe this is Dynasty because those are Dynasty guys. Did someone raise a finger they would like to discuss this? Because I think Ben's the one who's going to win this one.
No, Alex and I were just sending hand signals about an inside joke.
Okay, I like that. That's why you should subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell, so when we go live, you can be in here seeing those hand signals. But I think Zach Wilson has so much upside, man. I think his ADP is going to skyrocket after this year. Him, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, I just really like what that offense is looking like. And I watched Down Under Dynasty before this, and Ben was talking about how he thinks that the Jets will actually probably draft a running back high next year, which is possible, which will also help, Zach Wilson. So is Steve saying Zach Wilson? Is anybody here thinking that Tua will have higher ADP than Zach Wilson?
I'll take that one.
Yeah, me too.
So defend it. You can't take it. It's closed.
Well, yeah, no. I'll defend it. Well, I think Tua is going to show us why the original tank for Tua was around this season, and he in Dynasty ADP, he's going to be. I'm going to say top 10, but I would even go closer to say top 5 after this season. I think he's gonna. Wow. I think he's really gonna show out, and he's got some great weapons now with Jalen Waddle. Mm-hmm. If Will Fuller can stay healthy, he's still got Devontae Parker to move the ball down the field. He's got capable running backs behind him. I think and that defense is killer. So I think they're gonna do some work this year. And I already said he's gonna have more than 30 touchdowns too.
So tune into the Dolphins because it sounds to me like Tua Tagovailoa is going to have a phenomenal season. So, Joe, talk about your boy.
No, it's this. Well, yeah, I'm happy to, and it's the same reasons that Alex just gave. I don't think we've had a chance to see the real Tua. I don't think what we've seen so far is the real Tua. The guy's been pretty much banged up. Also, a young quarterback on a team that's still being built, and that was being rebuilt over the past few years. So it's not like he was parachuted into a veteran team that knows what it's doing. So they're growing along with him. And that's nothing against Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson's got the potential to be a darn good quarterback. But I think Tua right now is in a much better position. I'm not crazy about that Jets offense at all. I've never liked Corey Davis. I am not a Corey Davis believer at all. I think the guy flat out stinks, to be honest with you. I don't think they have a real running back yet. I like Carter, but I don't think he's going to be the number one guy.
You think Corey Davis stinks?
I think Corey Davis stinks. I am not a Corey Davis fan.
Man, nope. So you and Nate, man, just throwing that stinks around. You guys,
I think I think he's a fine, legitimate number 3.
We're gonna have a
number 3 wide receiver.
All right, it's gonna be
I should say he shouldn't stink.
Listen, we're gonna have a 9th show, Joe knows losers. It could be called that, or it's just going to be called "This Guy Stinks," and it's going to be Joe and Nate, and they're just going to rant about a guy who stinks.
I got tired of hearing, Corey Davis. You lead into the offseason. Corey Davis is going to be a free agent. Corey Davis is a free agent. Who's Corey Davis going to sign? I'm like, what am I missing? Am I missing something like the Corey Davis? This guy's been like some top flight wide receiver. This guy, we've been waiting for years for the real Corey Davis to show up, and I'm happy to dump on him. People are happy to dump on Tua right now, but we've hardly had a chance to see this guy. We've seen Corey Davis for years.
We're dropping dumps.
Nate, you know what? I'll say he's a quality number 3, and that's it.
I think he's a good 2. I think Corey Davis is the safety
I don't
blanket,
think so.
man. I don't think so at all.
Tennessee, God bless you for letting him go.
Man, I think Corey Davis, he won't get less than 900 yards this year.
Yeah. When I say stinks, and that was too strong of a word, the guy is a professional NFL quarterback, wide receiver, no better than number 3. When I say stinks, I'm talking about all like the talk he gets, the positive talk. Oh.
All right.
You can't go back on that. You said he stinks. He stinks.
He stinks for a number 2.
Own your opinion.
For a number 2 wide receiver, he stinks. He's not a number 2. I think at best he's a number 3. And that's
he stinks for a number 2.
So. Yeah. Just like most number 2s.
Okay. All right. Let's keep it. Speaking of guys that stink. All right. Miles Sanders stinks. All right. His ADP. Matt thinks that he's going to have a higher ADP in 2022 than Josh Jacobs. Ben and Joe think Josh Jacobs is going to have a higher ADP than Miles Sanders. Joe, talk up Josh Jacobs and why he's going to be higher than Miles Sanders next year.
How is it an argument? I think Miles Sanders is a very talented running back. And if the guy could stay healthy, I think he could be, a top 5, top 6, top 7 running back. But he hasn't been able to do that yet. As opposed to Corey Davis, who's been healthy throughout a lot of his career and just stunk anyway. Jacob stays healthy. He's a bell cow. You can count on this guy. This guy is a bruiser. He brings it every single game. And listen, like I said, Miles Sanders was, there you go, Vegas, baby. If Miles Sanders could actually stay healthy, he'd be an absolute stud running back. But so far, it's been a big problem of his. And that's why I love Gainwell as a handcuff.
Rich, get on the mic, kid.
Yeah, man, you guys keep on slandering my Jacobs, man. Come on. Freaking, look, I get it. They brought in Drake, but they didn't bring him in to replace him. They bring him in to make the offensive better, okay? But, Eagles, you drafted what? They slipped my name, man. What's his name?
Miles Sanders. Oh, Gainwell.
Gainwell, man. That guy is a baller, man. Look, he is waiting there he's chomping at the bits, waiting for Sanders to get hurt.
Confirmed.
That happen and everything. I mean, look, you bet get some shares of him because he will be in there when the season's by the end of the season and stuff like that. Because I think Sanders loses it to him this year.
All right, we got to move a little bit quicker right now.
I think Gainwell's more. Just real quick, I know a lot of people. I love Gainwell. I know Gainwell was being talked about as just being kind of like a third down running back. I think he's more than that. I really do. I really believe in the guy.
Memphis, running back factory. They are becoming at least a running back two factory.
LSU is wide receiver factory, and Memphis is becoming a running back factory.
Yep. All right, this next one here. Total points PPR. Deontay Johnson, me, Matt, and Steve have him. Ben has Jalen Waddle. I just think Deontay Johnson is all the work he does is in the short to intermediate range where Ben Roethlisberger loves to throw the football. We saw it down the stretch. He was peppering Deontay with targets. I don't think Jalen Waddle has as much competition as Deontay has, but Deontay, I think, is the one there. So I'm comfortable with this one. Does anyone want to speak up for Jalen Waddle?
Nope.
All on board. Deontay Johnson. All right, this next one, total wins for 2021. Matt has the Patriots, and Joe has the Giants. Joe, now that Mac Jones was named starter, all right, how do we feel about this one?
You know what? Oh, I like Mac Jones. I mean, it's not so much like the Patriots. It's how do I feel about the Giants? And for me, since training camp, it's been trending downwards. So I was feeling like a 9-win team going into the season. I can't say that. So So right now I have to concede right now. I'll go with Patriots and their head coach. So I've got to revise that one.
All right.
I can't stick to my guns on that one.
All right. Next one. PPR, more points scored in 2021. I have Ezekiel Elliott. Ben and Steve Spack have Saquon Barkley. All right. So I think, I think Zeke's going to have it a lot easier than Saquon Barkley is going to have. Saquon Barkley is going to be expected to be that offense. And I don't think the Giants are going to be expecting to win this year. So I think that, maybe early on they are going to try to. I don't think that's going to be the case. But I think once they realize they are out of it, I don't think he's going to be getting as many touches as Zeke can get. I know the Cowboys are going to be passing a lot, but there's an opportunity for them to be in the lead a lot. And if they're in the lead, I think that means more touches for Ezekiel Elliott. I think he's motivated. I think defenses aren't going to be able to pay attention to him this year. I think it's going to be a little bit easier for him. So I'm feeling pretty confident about this one. I think ADP says a lot of people are feeling confident about this one. So, and this was placed before the coach came out and said that Saquon might not even play week 1, but now it looks like he will, but it looks like he's going to get eased in. All right, this next one, Lamar Jackson. Joe, you got Lamar Jackson. I have Patrick Mahomes, and Steve has Patrick Mahomes for a 2021 fantasy finish. This was before, kind of that offense with Bateman went down. Andrews had the thing where he was heat exhaustion. Now Dobbins is down. So Lamar Jackson is going to have to be Superman this year for that offense to really be good. And it's going to be hard on him. And I think it's going to be a little bit easier on Patrick Mahomes. But I'm starting to be a little down on the Chiefs. I know that might sound crazy, but I'm not thinking the Chiefs are going to be bad. I think they're going to be good. But I'm starting to feel like Cleveland might upset Kansas City week 1. Like, I'm getting that vibe. But anyway, Joe, talk about your boy Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, you know what? I do think he's Superman. And I do think he's going to run the ball all over the place. And I believe in Gus Edwards as well. I definitely wanted to see Rashad Bateman. I was really high on Rashad Bateman, and I still am. But even if he were healthy, it's like, how can you really rely all that much on a rookie wide receiver? You never know what they're going to bring to the table their rookie year.
Who's the top 5 wide receivers in Baltimore right now? Tylon, and Tylon. All right, Tylon Wallace across the board.
I like Tylon Wallace. I like him
making the band.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle. All right, we'll see. That's gonna be a lot of people are gonna be thinking that, especially Superflex and redraft. It's gonna be, I'm seeing some drafts where Lamar goes ahead of Mahomes, Josh Allen goes ahead of Mahomes. So this is gonna be very interesting to see which quarterback. Well, this next one, you got Lamar Jackson, and Nate and Matt took Josh Allen. So I think we could kind of squeeze all these 3 together. It's going to be very interesting to see which quarterback takes it. Go ahead. Who's pointing?
I said Lamar Jackson's going to outscore Josh Allen.
Okay. Dang. So we got Alex on this too. All right. This next one, Clyde Edwards-Helaire will finish top 10 PPR 2021. Ben and Steve Spack and Matt say yes. I said no. I'm starting to feel a little better about Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I still don't think he's top 10. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to finish somewhere between 12 and 14. With at his ADP, that's fine. That's a high-end running back too. He'll have running back 1 weeks, but I don't think he's going to finish top 10. So, I'm comfortable with this one. I think Edwards-Helaire is good, but he's not top 10 this year. Anybody want to say he will be?
He is. He will be for sure.
Top 10.
Yep.
So go on.
Well, he's got all the opportunity he wants in Kansas City, and Kansas City is one of the top scoring offenses. And he wasn't lucky with the goal line last year, but their O-line was banged up. They were getting pushed back 2 yards before he was even, was even looking for a hole. So I think that touchdown regression is going to come back, and he'll score more, which will put him, up into that top tier. If he can stay healthy. He had that. I haven't heard anything about his ankle after that preseason game, but if you don't hear anything, it usually means good. So I think he's all systems go, and he's definitely going to get in that top 10.
I like Edwards-Helaire. I mean, I'm an LSU fan. I liked him at college. I think he's tougher than people give him credit for. I think he can run between the tackles, but I also think that for him to be at his best, I think Kansas City needs to employ like a 60-40, 70-30 rushing share. I don't know. I mean, I think Darrell Williams, he's another LSU guy. Like, I think he's okay. I don't think you could put Clyde Edwards-Helaire out there every snap to have him be at his peak. I think he's the type of guy. Let Darrell Williams have a series or two, then let Clyde Edwards-Helaire come in fresh and have some pop. But Rich, you looked like you were going to say something.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, look, I feel you too on Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but here's the thing. There's just so many running backs that could finish ahead of him this year based off their situations that are in. And I think that's one that hurts Helaire more than anything because of him being with the Chiefs. They are a passing team. They always will be and everything. And that's what's going to hurt him more than anything.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Well,
I agree. I don't think he's going to crack top 10 either. And that's nothing against him. I think he will have a really good bounce back year. But just like Rich was saying, I mean, you've got Patrick Mahomes, you've got Tyreek Hill, you've got Kelsey. My God, I mean, this is such a. I mean, you look at kind of like Cleveland. Cleveland's got good wide receivers too. If OBJ were healthy, and they've got Landry, and Baker Mayfield. He had a good year last year. He's not Patrick Mahomes. And neither of those guys are Tyreek Hill. OBJ isn't anymore, at least, So
I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to get on the bathroom board for another one. I'm going to stay out of this one, but I'm going to keep it in the division. Austin Eckler or Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who finishes higher in PPR? If you're in favor of Eckler, put your hand up. Okay, so throw it on the board. You put this on the last one. Alex for CEH, Joe, Justin, and Rich, Eckler. Okay, why don't we discuss this one? It just got thrown up. So why Eckler? They're going to throw a lot too, right? So I mean, we just spoke about Herbert. We just said he's going to throw a lot. So tell me why, Justin. Tell me why you think Austin Eckler is going to outscore Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Mostly because I don't have any of that confidence that a lot of people are having in CEH for some reason. I mean, I do think they'll utilize him more. Obviously, I think they still have confidence in him for some reason. I didn't see it, though. And sure, maybe the touchdown opportunity or the touchdown regression happens in the right way for him, but also maybe he doesn't get as much opportunity for touchdowns because I didn't think that he was at all very good in the red zone. I wouldn't give him the ball personally at all inside the red zone. So I mean that's just my personal opinion. I just don't like the guy. So if it's
Adam, so you're gonna go right on Joe and Nate's episode of This Guy Stinks. Clyde Edwards-Helaire weekly Friday nights 10 p.m.
Yeah. I don't think his overall game stinks. I just think there's a lot of aspects about his game that stinks enough that I want more of an all well-rounded guy like Eckler that's going to be also in a high-powered offense.
So you're saying he's not a number 2. He's somewhere between a 1 and a 2, but sometimes it's a bad place to be in.
Yeah, right, let's stuck in between. That's a rough situation.
So put that on the board. We're at 53 minutes, so let's move with these. Some of these I'm just going to throw out. Like I'm going to discuss them, but but this next one we had Dobbins will finish top 10. Clearly that's not happening. Ben said yes. Me and Steve Spack said no. This next one, Zach Wilson versus Justin Hurts and points scored. I have Wilson. Steve has Wilson. Joshua and Matt have Hurts. I don't think this one's going to be close. I don't even think Hurts plays the full season. Do either of you guys want to speak up for Hurts? No. Okay, we move on. Justin Jefferson. Me and Steve Spack have him. Rich has DK Metcalf. All right. So Rich, I tell me why DK is going to outscore Justin Jefferson this season.
Did you not see that new Gatorade commercial where he just owns that Gatorade?
I saw a Powerade commercial where Michael Vick threw a football from like the 10-yard line out of a stadium.
Metcalf is going to just take that. I mean, look, every year he's gotten better and better and stuff like that. And Metcalf is just a freaking beast. And he got Russell Wilson throwing to him. They're going to throw more this year. I hate everybody saying that they want to run and stuff like that. They will throw the ball more and everything. And, yeah, he got Lockett there and everything. But, man, Metcalf's a beast, man. I don't understand how – look, Jefferson's great. I love the guy and stuff like that. But he's still learning and stuff like that. Had a great rookie season and everything. He's going to have another great year and everything. But Metcalf is that beast that's going to win all those catches and everything that Jefferson might not win sometimes.
All right, so I think, Jefferson. I think with DK, what concerns me is I think he's going to have monster games, but I also think he's going to have games where he doesn't do much because Russell Wilson kind of changes his favorite target on a weekly basis. So the next one we have, so I have AJ Brown, Steve has AJ Brown, you have DK. So I also think this is a battle of Ole Miss. I think AJ Brown's going to be more consistently targeted. I think DK might have a few more big plays, but AJ Brown also has that big play potential. So this is going to be an interesting one. All right, next one here, DJ Moore. Ben has DJ Moore. Me and Matt have Terry McLaurin. I think Terry McLaurin finally has a quarterback with Fitzpatrick. Terry McLaurin is a wide receiver 1. I think DJ Moore has a lot of competition between Terrace Marshall and Robbie Anderson. I think they have equal play at quarterback, but I think Terry McLaurin is going to be a top 10 wide receiver this year, and I don't think DJ Moore will be top 15. I think he's going to be somewhere between 16 and 18. Justin, go ahead.
In my mind, I think we all think that Terry McLaurin's going to be a top 10 wide receiver, but I think we all know that DJ Moore has been a top 10 wide receiver. So for me, that's enough to give me the tiebreaker to Moore.
All right, this next one here. All right, Philip Lindsay leads the Texans running backs in points. This is one that I just threw out in the chat because I was just feeling bold. Meow. What are you trying to call me, Justin? What are you trying to call me without saying it?
I'm saying that bet right there, the one that we're talking about right now, is kind of a weak bet. So that's why I use that one for this.
All right. So I said Philip Lindsay is going to lead the Texans backs in PPR points in 2021. I said yes. Matt says no. Right now, Mark is at the top of the depth chart, but I think Philip Lindsay is the most talented of all those guys. It's like, picking whichever fart smells the least, but in that offense. But you got to pick one. All right. This next one.
Speaking of least. The least smelling farts. We've got somebody new in the group here. What's up, Nate?
Hey, what's up, boys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's going on?
In the middle of a field somewhere, building scarecrows.
No, I'm standing outside my house watching my sprinklers run.
That sounds depressing.
He's cousin Eddie.
Someone call his wife. Tell her to keep an eye on this guy. He's sitting in his yard
if I turn the camera on, you can't see me because I'm under a street light out here. It's really dark.
That's not a cry for help. I don't know what is. somebody get Nate. The reason he's so upset is because he ruined his grass the other day, and he spent the last 60
It's a lot better now. You got to see it.
Laying sod. Oh.
I'll never plant grass seed again. It's sod from here on out. Anyway, back to the football bets.
All right, I'll keep it rolling. Jacob Hollister has more fantasy point production than Donald Parham. Rich said yes. Nate says no. So Nate, tell us why Parham's going to outscore Hollister.
He's going to be a tight end 1, and and Hollister's on the Jaguars now, and I think he's like the most veteran tight end on the Jaguars, but it's not going to matter. Parham's going to be the tight end 1 on the Chargers.
Because he stinks.
Rich, do you
want me to say it?
Rich, yes.
I think he's cut, Rich. He moved on. So I think that bet is mostly done. This next one here, Justin Herbert. Justin has him, and Steve Spack has him, and Alex has Jalen Hurts. So Alex was feeling bold. I think we're starting to sense a trend. Alex doesn't like Justin Herbert. He's not sold on him at all. So, Alex, tell us why Hurts is going to outproduce Justin Herbert this year.
No, it's not that I don't like it. Justin Herbert does not stink. Justin Herbert does not stink. I'm not saying that. He is a real talented guy. I just Jalen Hurts. I made this one. It was my first time on the podcast with you guys, and I wanted to get a bathroom board bet. But if Jalen Hurts plays all season long, I think he outscores Justin Herbert for sure. He's going to use his legs more, and if he stays the quarterback, that means the passing game, that he's doing something in the passing game. Especially now that they got Minshew. Like, if he does anything they don't like, they're gonna put in Minshew and ride him out for the rest of the season. So if Jalen Hurts plays all 17 games, I think he definitely outscores Justin Herbert.
All right, this next one here, Carson Wentz. Justin took Carson Wentz, and I took Zach Wilson. Justin, go ahead and tell us why Carson Wentz is going to outscore Zach Wilson this year.
Mostly because when we made this bet, I was a lot more confident in my decision. A lot of things have unfolded for the Colts since then, but no, I still think it probably will. I just think he has a much better offense around him. He's liable to get fantasy points just based off of the team around him helping to support him as well, where Wilson won't. And I'm assuming that is Zach Wilson, right?
Yes.
All right, because I definitely wouldn't have made that bet with Russell. So, so that's my reasoning, and you guys all know that I'm looking forward to watching that Jets offense this season. So, I'll still be rooting for Zach Wilson, but yeah, it's that veteran edge too. Carson Wentz is just, I think it's just obvious.
Well, I'll tell you how confident I am in Zach Wilson. This next bet, I took Zach Wilson over Trevor Lawrence. Matt took Trevor Lawrence. I just don't like Jacksonville. I like Laviska Shenault. I think Marvin Jones can be good. I think James Robinson can be good, but I think that Jacksonville's going to be very bad. I think that Houston's going to be very bad, and I actually think the Jets are going to be okay. Like, I think the Jets are going to be average this year, and I think Zach Wilson is going to have a lot of electrifying games. I think Trevor Lawrence might have a few more peaks. His peaks might be a little higher, but I actually think Zach Wilson will be a little more consistent this season. Go ahead, Joe.
Zach Wilson has something very, very, very big going against him. He has Corey Davis. That is all.
Corey Davis is going for him, man. Corey Davis, I think, will be right. This next bet we had on here was Cam Akers versus Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Too bad we will not be able to see that one play out, but that one would have been very exciting. Justin had Cam Akers. Alex had Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So it was kind of leading up to this. Like, the Clyde Edwards-Helaire discussion with Austin Eckler, we didn't even need that bet, but actually we did need it. Good thing we made it, because if we didn't make it, you would have never had the battle. The fight would have never happened. Akers versus Edwards-Helaire. Now you have Austin Eckler versus Edwards-Helaire to make up for it. So let's move on. All right, Justin, you have Terry McLaurin, and Matt had Mike Evans. Does anyone want to take the Mike Evans side here?
Yeah, Mike Evans has been a 1,000-yard receiver, and I think he has the better quarterback, the better offense. Now, granted, he's got better competition for targets, but he loves scoring touchdowns. I think Mike Evans is going to be, top 12 by the end of the year, and I don't think McLaurin quite makes it. I don't think he's going to be, because I don't know how long Fitzpatrick is going to be quarterback. So I would take Mike Evans here.
Fitzpatrick's going to play like 20 games because they're going to go to the title.
Whoa!
Boom!
Whoa!
Hall of Famer, baby. Hall of Famer.
Shadows.
Out of the shadows.
Yeah, man.
That's why we have.
I love Mike Evans.
No, here's the reason why I really like Alex's argument for Evans. It's because it's the exact same argument that I use for DJ Moore. He is the veteran there. He's done it. He's going to see.
I think Robbie Anderson
workload.
might have more seasons in the NFL than DJ Moore.
What's that?
I think Robbie Anderson might have seniority.
He does.
I think he's more of a veteran than DJ Moore.
And he has a connection with Darnold already from being in the Jets.
I mean, DJ Moore still did pretty darn well.
You did, but I'm saying just talking about the seniority thing and the veteran stuff.
Okay.
I think Robbie has him.
But anyhow, yeah, no, it's just, for me, it's that the targets and the workload and the fact that at some point Tom Brady has to drop off, and I feel like that end of that season, the last few games in the playoffs, it was more than just he was playing to what the defense was giving him. I think he really was having more of an issue trying to accurately throw the ball down the field. So I'm trying to bank on a narrative here, but that's the way I roll. I'm a narrative-based fantasy player because I like to watch stories unfold on the field. So that's why I'm going with McLaurin.
All right, this next one. I said that one of these three, Shenault, Cortland Sutton, and Ayuk would finish top 15 PPR wide receivers this year. I like my odds. I said yes. Justin said no. I guess I'll plead my case. I'm very high on Laviska Shenault. I'm pretty high on Brandon Ayuk. And I think Cortland Sutton is a very solid wide receiver. I'm actually feeling more confident in the Sutton take after seeing him post-injury. He looks fresh, and I think with Teddy Bridgewater out there, I think that might be decent for him. I think he's going to be a little more consistent than Drew Lock. Drew Lock's up and down. So I wouldn't be surprised if Cortland Sutton is the guy to finish top 15. But, I love my odds with those three. Justin, what are your thoughts?
So I have a lot of shares in redraft, especially in Chenault and Ayuk. So I really hope that you're right. But this was just a sheer numbers thing. There's a lot of wide receivers out there that they would have to outperform, and then they also would have to avoid injury. You are getting just one of the three of them to get top 15, so that's helpful to you. But I still think I'm playing a numbers game here, even though I hope that you're right about those two specifically.
If three of them finish top 15, do I get 3 points for that one?
I'll give you two.
Hey, no, I'm good. I'll take one. That's cheating. I can't.
I think Sutton's got the best bet of the three.
I like it. All
If
right.
anything, you get three choices. So if none of them make it, I should be the one that gets three.
True. No, you get 15.
No, I get one.
All right. This next one, Justin versus Alex again. I'm sensing a rivalry. Justin has Julio Jones. Alex has Amari Cooper. So go at it, fellas.
Well, the more I think about this one, the more I regret doing this one, to be honest with you, because since making this bet, I've been further and further down on Julio. So, but a little bit more on that passing offense for the Cowboys. But I mean, if I have to try to make an argument here, it's that the bet was done way too early.
Well, I think you did make it before he got hurt in camp too. So, if he was coming in full strength and he was going to be Julio again, but I still think Amari Cooper, he's going to be the Cowboys wide receiver one. I don't think CD takes over this year. I think Cooper keeps it. He looked good now that he's back at practice. I saw him running routes and stuff. So I think Amari Cooper definitely has the higher ceiling at Dallas than Julio does in Tennessee.
All right, I'm gonna wrap it up with two more. We got a few more on here. All right, and if you join Patreon, I'll actually share access with you to our bathroom board, so you can go in there and see all our bets. So you just remind me, DM me after you sign up for our Patreon. Say, hey, I want to see all those bets. Yeah, slide into the DMs, man. We got about 10 more, but I don't want to keep you all too long, so I'm gonna read two more off here. This one's a gem. Derek Carr versus Tom Brady. Rich has Derek Carr. Matt has Tom Brady. Fantasy football finished this season. So, Rich, tell us in what fantasy world we need to be living in for Derek Carr to outscore Tom Brady this year. Go ahead.
And we are living in it right now. Tom Brady will have a down year. His arm's going. And Derek Carr is another season with the receivers with another year to learn and everything. And they will take that next step. But, look, Derek Carr finished, I want to say 14th last year. Look, I know Tom Brady finished higher and everything. I'm not going to say he did and everything, but we are going to get better. We are going to throw more and everything. They're going to be more efficient. Derek Carr is a very efficient quarterback, and this year he will outproduce Tom Brady.
I like it. All right. Does anyone want to speak up for Tom Brady? I know Justin's over there like, yes. He's, you ever seen that gif of that guy like on a river, just nodding his head yes, like in pleasure? Justin's loving that. He wants nothing more than for Tom Brady to be beaten by Derek Carr in fantasy football. I think that would be a great way to send him off.
No, I was nodding to Rich because I this is the one time that I'm agreeing with the Derek Carr side on something.
All right, so I think one last one here is me versus Alex. I didn't think I had the energy to discuss this one, but I'm just going to discuss it. I got David Montgomery, PPR. Alex has Austin Eckler. And you guys know from the show that I was, beating the drum for David Montgomery last year, and I still think he is, a talented running back. All right, I think he's very talented, and I think he's used to doing more with less. He had no offensive line at Iowa State. He was playing teams that were better than his team while he was at Iowa State, and I think he's just used to it. He made more guys miss in the backfield than most people did after the line of scrimmage, and he's still doing that. Supposedly he looks faster this year. He's trimmed up a little bit, and I think David Montgomery is the little engine that could. He's just consistently producing, and, I know the ceiling's there for Austin Eckler. The ceiling is there. He's a very exciting guy, but I think the tortoise and the hare here, I think, my money's on the tortoise. He's going to be a steady Eddie. But, Alex, go ahead with Austin Eckler.
Yeah, well, like you always say about David Montgomery, he is your favorite running back 2. Austin Eckler is a running back 1. So, especially in PPR, like just, he has the chance to catch 70, 80 passes this year. So that I think that's just going to vault him up. I wish he would score more touchdowns. That's where Montgomery might, overtake him, because once Justin Fields gets the job, he's going to move him down the field, and they're definitely going to be in the red zone. But
it's going to freeze linebackers because
Yeah.
they're going to hesitate, thinking that Fields might be taking the ball on those RPOs.
Mhm.
And every now and then it's going to be given to Monty, and that's going to free up just a little bit extra space for him.
But I think Eckler still has the higher ceiling, so I definitely stick him by this one.
Excellent. I like that I moved up from Monty versus Miles to Monty versus a real running back this year. Like a guy who actually, played and has done it, on a consistent basis. So, gentlemen, the bathroom board is set. The last episode of the offseason has been wrapped. It's a beautiful thing. The team has grown tremendously this offseason. Like, we started with 3. Now we're at 13. We all have roles. We're going to be coming at you live 8. Oh, the best is yet to come. Rich, man, I couldn't have said it better myself, man. Rich,
get a
if
hottie
you're
lobby today?
watching at home, he's got like a little blurb on a piece of looks like wood that he just put up. Rich is showing us his wood right now, and his wood says the best is yet to come. So thank you, man. I appreciate that. But you know who else I appreciate? I appreciate you, the listener. We've grown. We're at 320 subscribes. I think we started the offseason at 100. So we've gone up 220 subscriptions. This past month in August, the most downloads we've ever had in a month was 460. In August, we hit 700. So we are ascending at the right time. We are doing our best to compile an assortment of shows so that we can hit you with each and everything that you need to help you have a fun NFL season and a successful fantasy football season. That is our goal. All right. We want to have fun doing it as well. That's what we're doing. We're having fun doing this thing. But we want to make sure you're having fun. You're being successful. So tune in. I'm telling you, the ride has just started. We are just beginning. Like, the best is yet to come, like Rich is saying, man. And for the fellas, for the show, that's been a fun off season. Let's dominate the season. We all eat. Follow the show, subscribe, check out toiletstitled.com. We'll be talking to you all this week with all 8 of our shows. Catch you all later on.